Blackstone Audio presents James Joyce in 90 Minutes by Paul Strathern. Introduction. The writings of James Joyce represent one of the high watermarks of modernism, the cultural movement that swept Europe and the Americas during the first decades of the 20th century. By the end of the 19th century, Western art, in all its forms, had reached a maturity and sophistication that echoed the society out of which it had grown. But in achieving such a civilized veneer, this bourgeois-dominated society had also become staid, stifling, and hypocritical. Unacceptable elements of human behavior, such as our primitive sexuality, instinctive aggression, and the perversities of our imagination, were swept under the carpet. Society was beginning to suffocate the very impulses that had caused its dynamic creation. In 1899, Sigmund Freud published his Interpretation of Dreams. The subconscious mind was exposed as a wellspring of unsavory irrationalities which surged beneath the surface of everyday life. Art was not long in reflecting such impulses. In 1907, Picasso painted his strident and terrifying portrait known as Les Demoiselles d'Avignon, depicting an array of naked women whose figures were hideously deformed into geometric shapes. This led him to begin painting in the Cubist style, which shattered forever the more realistic or impressionistic visions of previous Western European styles. The relativistic nature of objects in Cubist paintings curiously paralleled the new theory of relativity, which had recently been proposed by Einstein and would soon bring about a revolution in the world of science. 6 years later, in 1913, the world of music underwent a similar convulsion with the performance of Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, whose strident discords and rampant primitivism provoked a riot at its first performance in Paris. The artistic world of modernism was born. All this found its echo in the cataclysm that shook Europe upon the outbreak of the First World War in 1914. The stable and prosperous larger nations of Europe now became locked in an internecine struggle which shattered their smug and stable societies once and for all. In the midst of this war, one of Europe's largest nations, Russia, succumbed to revolution and the formation of an entirely new society under communism. At the end of 4 long years of war, Europe's most extensive empire, that of Austro-Hungary, simply collapsed, falling apart into a number of distinct nation-states. During this prolonged period of artistic and social upheaval,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?